Over time, our water pH level increased, which meant that our water was less acidic because of the elodium and was more habitable for the fish. However, there is an obvious decrease in the pH level, which meant that our water was more acidic and less habitable for the fish. This occurred because of respiration and decomposition. This came from the carbon dioxide disposed from the fish and the decomposition of worms and roly-polies that led to the decrease in pH over the last few days.
Here's our graph. As we see, when we added our water on day 3, our water pH increased and then slightly decreased over the past 8 days.
In the beginning, our dissolved oxygen was at a pretty good level when we first initially recorded it on day 3, but over time it started to increase because we didn't have enough distilled water in our aquatic chamber.
The mistake we made in our experiment was that we added too much water, which impacted our plant growth. Adding too much water deprives the plants of oxygen in the roots, which means that the plants can't grow. Another error we made was that we didn't add more distilled water to our aquatic chamber. Near the end, because of our fish dying on the last day from the dissolved oxygen due to Thank you.
One adjustment we made was adding fertilizer bees to our plants because they weren't growing. After that, we saw progressive growth in the next few days. In addition, we stopped watering the plants as often because when we first planted our ecocolumns, we drowned our plants. We also replanted our seeds on day 3 because they were still not growing. However, the next 2 days, they still didn't grow until we added fertilizer bees the next day.
As we see, after adding the legumes on day 4, they finally started growing on day 5 due to the adding of fertilizer and replanting of the plants.
One question we have is what would happen if we put the ecocolumn into natural summer?
Another question we had was what would happen if we added
We're the only one out.
crustaceans to the water.
Would our fish react to a larger environment, or would it have a better chance of survival?
What plants would lead to a healthier environment with better nutrient cycling?
Would a different soil type help our filtration or limit it by its different percolation rates and nutrient holding capacity?